Alright, so I'm going to show you guys how to rebuild.
Hey guys, before we get started with this video, I just wanted to give you guys kind of a warning. This is probably one of my most melancholy videos I've ever made. I don't know what's been going on, but this week I've been in such like a blah mood. I don't know, you could probably tell by the tone of my voice when you watch this video. It's not that I wasn't excited to do this repair, I just was blah. I don't even know how to explain it. So anyways, consider yourself warned. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is a pretty decent tutorial on how to rebuild your gas valves. If you have any questions regarding it, please leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys think. Definitely enjoy the video, and I probably will have 2 more parts to this series, and hopefully we'll have this stove finished up. It's kind of been dragging along a little bit. I thought I'd have this done in 4 videos, but it looks like it's going to be maybe 5. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Enjoy the rest of the video. Also, just a quick update on my washer giveaway. I finally was able to get this 81 belt drive into the hands of the winner. So the winner was JK. I can't remember the rest of the numbers, but it was JK was the first winner. Ironically, he was friends with Lexmark, who happened to be the 3rd runner-up. JK asked me to give the washer to Lexmark, who you see in the picture. His name is Kevin. Great guy. I was happy to meet him. Definitely excited to get this washer into somebody's home. I just wanted to give you guys a quick update on that so I don't have to make a separate video on that. Congratulations to Lexmark, aka Kevin. Enjoy your washer. It was gifted from the winner, Jason JK, to Lexmark. So just to get you guys up to speed.
The gas valve. So this is what we're going to do first. I have my trusty Dremel, and we're going to just clean up all of the dust and goo and get it kind of tidy so that when we take it apart, it's a little easier to deal with. Okay, so you got to get a screwdriver. You want to make sure you find something that fits pretty well. Okay, hopefully it didn't break. Excellent. Now we're just going to loosen them both at the moment because this valve is spring loaded. So as you can see, this plate is wanting to come out. So let's take the first screw out by hand, and we're going to kind of push on the face of it while we're undoing the screws. Okay, so now that we have both screws out, this valve is going to come out pretty easy. Now, so you don't get confused, just pull the valve off exactly how you found it, just like that. This is the front half of the valve. We don't really need to do anything with this one. And then here's the spring that's been holding it in place. And we're just gonna put those to the side. And this is the actual gas valve. Now it might be pretty stuck in there, as you kind of want to just give it a little turn and it should loosen up nice and easy. Now just pay attention because we know that this slot is on the right side of the valve. And so here is the valve. It's pretty simple. It's basically just a brass cone and a brass cone, and they fit together. With the gas valve grease, it makes a pretty good seal. So when you turn your valve a certain way, the gas will pass through this hole and then go out the front. And then when you close it, no gas. I don't get too sophisticated with this. What I like to do is just grab a lint-free microfiber towel and then just take the valve out, and I like to put some oil on it. Just rub it. What you want to do is you want to dissolve all of the old grease and then just wipe it off. Okay, so once you get it nice and clean, you should see that the barrel gets kind of a nice polished brass. And you don't need to be an overachiever on this one. It just needs to be clean, and you want to make sure that there's no like debris on the actual barrel, because if you get a speck of dirt or something, it could score the finish. The next step is we're going to get our gas valve grease. This is the stuff that I use. This is actual gas valve grease, and this tube I've had for years, and this is like a lifetime supply. I'll probably never buy another tube again, and that's about all you need per valve, just like next to nothing. And what you want to do is you want to just, that's it, just get it nicely evenly coated, and then just insert it back into the the valve. We're gonna put our spring back in, and I do like to put a tiny bit of oil right here because this little doodad kind of rides up on here. Basically, like when you turn your valve on, it does like one of those numbers. And so this is like kind of a friction point right up here. So you kind of want to make sure that's nice and clean. Put a little oil, or you could put some extra gas valve grease if that's what you have. Set our valve in, and it should sit nice and flush. We're going to get our screws started on one side. And these screws do not need to be very tight. You just want to get them snug and just a tad. And when you have a good valve, you should almost be able to turn it with your bare hands without a knob. So you push in and you turn it. And that's how it's done, guys. To do the oven valve is basically the same thing as a gas valve with some minor differences. You still have your 2 screws, but you don't need to take these 2 screws out all the way. So once you get these 2 screws loose, you should be able to rotate this housing, but you have to back the screws out enough that the housing can release from the thermostat. And then you give it a little turn and then slide it straight out. And this is the way it's going to go back in. And then for this thermostat valve, we're just going to pay attention. We have our pointer pointing almost straight down so we can kind of get an orientation. And basically inside that valve, there's a bellow that expands and contracts based on the temperature of the oven. And it basically butts up against this thing. So when the temperature is cold, the bellow decreases or contracts, and it gives a space and allows the gas to pass through. And as it reaches temperature, it'll kind of close up and create a seal like that. So this one, we're going to do the same thing as a regular gas valve. Perfect. Now remember, our pointer was pointing straight down. Now you might have to wiggle just a tiny bit to get this thing to seat. Oh, there we go. Just set in there without any issue, without any force either. And there you have it.